one night only in the month, you have a whole night only in your tiny world.
Welcome to Umaversity Talks. I'm Jo Sarah.
And I'm Bowi.
And here we dive into the real shit women go through that they never dared to teach you in school. No filters, no sugarcoating.
Just two women having the raw, funny, and brutally honest conversations we all need.
Here we go.
Hey, Jo. So lovely to see you again.
Hey, Bowi. Yeah, it's always nice to see your face.
But I love how this is becoming a ritual. It makes me so happy. Every time I'm looking forward to these conversations and these podcast recordings.
And I love that we're both wearing the Clitoris earrings.
Yes, spreading awareness.
For the number one pleasure organ women have. Umaversity, we sell these because we want to raise more awareness and create a whole movement of clitoris lovers.
Yeah, and if the books don't show it, then we'll do it. All right.
Exactly.
We'll take one for the team then.
You know, today what I really loved is we both met each other today in a state that we were like a bit stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how we solved it. I can only meet at a certain time because I need to have my morning routine.
Yeah.
And need to do my self-love morning routine. And I took you along the ride with me. We did some Qigong together and some stretching. That was really cool. I really love that.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. And your whole journey on self-love and self-compassion and implementing all these rituals has really inspired me.
Oh.
But also made me realize I already had a lot of rituals. So when I would talk about my rituals, they would usually be in the evening. A lot of people would be like, oh, wow, did you do that? That's like so much effort.
Mm-hmm.
And it always makes me wonder, like, is it really a lot of effort? Is it really that much effort to actually implement a ritual for yourself?
I think the ritual is not per se the effort, it's discipline. I think self-love and self-compassion is a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Surprise! That's what we're talking about today. Self-love and self-compassion. Self-love is like a word that gets used and abused a lot, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. There are a lot of words actually on, I think now, especially in this area where we're talking about that certain words get commercialized so bad nowadays that they actually get a bad reputation out of it.
I still think that self-love is a beautiful thing and it's super important for every single person. As a woman, we have so many areas where self-love is very difficult because society just tells us, the opposite, self-hate. But yeah, this summer, actually, I've been diving deep into, I think, an even deeper layer of self-love, and that is self-compassion.
I absolutely agree.
Self-compassion, like I thought, because I've worked super hard on my self-love since I was 15, because I had a plus-size body when I was 15 already, and I just knew, okay, either I will punish myself for never being size 0, or I accept my body the way it is now, my curves, my hourglass figure, and I start to learn how to celebrate my body through my clothes, right? So I was in high school wearing pencil skirts, waist belts, V-necks, and high heels.
Ooh, look at you.
I looked up what is nice on an hourglass figure. And it's so funny because in that time, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like those bodies, are really straight athletic bodies, and also bodies of white women were the shit. Yeah. And also low waist jeans. Oh my God. Please never, ever.
Yeah, I remember this term, and it's not even my time, but when I heard it, I was like, that's the most toxic thing I've ever heard. Like the heroine chic body. It's a hype. It's a thing. It's fashion. And I'm just like, can we please stop making women's body a fashion hype?
Yeah.
Can we
100%.
stop? Like, then there's this one area where like being thick and like having big booties and big breasts, it's a hype. And then all of a sudden it's heroine chic. And then all of a sudden it's like being thick again. And it just keeps going.
I think fashion should be the statement, but not women's bodies.
Yeah.
To be honest, until recently, I was always shopping. I couldn't shop in the normal streets. I lost a lot of weight because of health conditions. And I am now a size S. And I notice, it's so much easier to buy clothes, for instance. In that time, in the 90s and the 2000s, there was hourglass figure was literally not hot. Only when Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, Scarlett Johansson, all of them became popular, that's when hourglass figure became more popular. And of course, even before that, you had Marilyn Monroe and stuff. But when I grew up, the straight bodies was like the fashion, and I couldn't find anything in the shops. So I accepted my body pretty quick. I thought, you know what, it's just better because you're changing something you can never change.
Yeah.
You know, I've been working on my self-love, and I loved my plus size body. I loved it so much. And then I started losing weight because of my health. And now in the last years, I've had to love my body again, fall in love with my body again. My ass is smaller, my breasts are smaller. Of course, everything is smaller, but it's just like you identify with your body somehow, you know? And I realized it's still the same body, just a new phase.
Yeah.
It's so hard to look in the mirror and to say, you look beautiful in this new state. Instead of, oh, I wish would change, or this would change. I think self-love is definitely something that's very hard work.
Yeah.
It takes discipline. I do think that rituals really help for growing self-love.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And if I would have to share something on my side, I think my self-love journey has only become very clear to me when I was only 21. Then I that's the moment when I became conscious about it.
So 4 years ago only.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years, something like that, because of trauma, of course. But before that, I wasn't so conscious about it. I was a major tomboy. Honestly, I was a fat kid.
You fat? So
yeah.
Cute.
Yes, I was. I was a fat kid with extremely short hair, really bad teeth. And then puberty when I was 14, 15, something like that. I would say I was a bit of a late flower. Puberty hit me like a fucking truck. And all of a sudden I was 180, 181 in height. I was very slim and skinny. My hair had grown so much. I had really long blonde hair. My braces got out. It was like, what the fuck happened, you know? Which gave me a lot of confidence back in the days, because I used to be bullied as a kid a lot for being ugly or having weird parents or different parents. And then all of a sudden, I was this girl that was attractive. So that was very new to me. But then later on in life, when puberty really started to go there and I was starting to having my period, I think it was only 15 or I was only 14 or 15 when I got my period, the acne started. Oh my God, I had such bad acne, so bad. And still it is a struggle till this day. I struggle with hormonal acne a lot. It's been a real journey. And I realized that my self-love and self-image is literally connected to my skin condition. So if my skin is in a good condition, my self-love is in a good condition. If my skin is in a bad condition, I can't look at myself in the mirror. It's such a trauma thing to me. It still is.
I love that thought. Like, what is your self-love connected to?
Yeah.
Like, what is it dependent on? For me, it's if I'm tired or not, if I'm rested or not. Because I notice that when I'm really tired and I have things to do, I have really negative thoughts towards myself. And it's like self-hate. And that's why where the self-compassion comes in. And that's why it's even a deeper form, because you can love yourself towards the world and you can love yourself towards yourself. But being kind and compassionate towards yourself is a whole nother deep level. And self-compassion is also having positive thoughts and choosing to be positive, choosing to be gentle, choosing to forgive yourself, choosing to be kind to yourself, or just to not be afraid of what anybody else thinks or about any validation that you think you might need, but really find that validation within. Yeah. And that's a hard thing.
It's extremely hard, especially when you grow up in a society where everything is so presentation based.
Yeah.
We always have to deliver. We always have to deliver. There cannot be a inefficient day. Everything has to be efficient. And I think growing up in a society where you constantly have to deliver, of course, we are not being taught how to self-compassion. We are being taught how to keep going over our own boundaries.
Yeah, 100%. And I've noticed that for me, self-compassion gets the weakest when I feel that other people are being affected about my thoughts, my actions. So then I think, oh shit, I have to do this for the other person, but it's saying no to myself. And yeah, it's very interesting. There's very many layers on self-compassion, and I really noticed that it's not something that, okay, I've got self-compassion, I'm done. No, it's every day you have to start again, but you do have like a default level that you start from, and it keeps growing, you know?
Yeah.
This week I had a day where I had a lot of things to do. It was a podcast recording with an expert. We had an Umaversity event. Mm-hmm. We also were editing other podcasts, and I had some meetings with experts and some other founders and whatever. And it was just such a busy day, but I didn't sleep well at all. And I felt very stressed. And my normal go-to would be, oh, you should have done this. Oh, you didn't do that right. Oh, see, that person doesn't think, whatever. Like just all these mean thoughts to myself, right? But then I recently have this slogan for myself: I am my own hero. And it's such a powerful sentence for me. Am I my own hero when I talk to myself like that? Am I my own hero when I say no to myself and yes to another person? Like I constantly use that sentence, like, am I a hero to myself now? And that day was such a different day than what it used to be. That day I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to try my best today, and everything will just flow. And if things don't work out, they don't work out. We'll try another day.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And it was interesting. I only had one moment of being mean to myself. And I also caught myself being mean. I thought, hey, this is not fair, because the day went differently. So just leave it. Because I'm working on self-compassion, I put into my affirmations, because I write them out with every area of my life, and then I record them. And one of my sentences in my affirmations is, today is a blank canvas, and I'm going to paint it with new colors, and I forgive myself for everything that was and that is to come. And self-forgiveness is a huge part of self-love. And I learned this also for my partner is really good at this, but especially when you're tired and when you have a huge to-do list, or you made a mistake. Making a mistake is not a reason to punish yourself. Making a mistake is a reason to learn, period. And that's what I'm learning. And it's like, oh, it's hard, but it's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's good. I really needed to hear that. I really needed to hear this. My self-compassion has, over the last couple of time, has been very, very low. You know, I've been through some bad situations the last couple of, not even months, but years, but especially last couple of months again have been very hard on me. And the funny thing is, when you said negative self-talk, negative things, being your own hero, I had this realization moment that I was talking so mean to myself. I was being so mean with myself because I expect so much of myself, because I have this idea that people sometimes look up to me and they expect me to deliver certain type of way, because we are two creating women. We create and we do, and people like to listen to us. But it also can create this pressure of constantly delivering and always just being there and
always doing.
I'm just tired, these days from constantly delivering the expectations of others. But I also realize that these are the expectations that I have towards myself, because when I say yes to certain type of things, I don't check in with myself. Am I actually capable now of doing this?
And do I even want to do it?
And do I even want to do it? Do I have the energy? Do I have the time? Do I have the space? Yeah. But also in this negative self-talking, there was this specific type of moment that I was being such an incredible bully to myself, that I realized oh my God, if this voice would have been a person, I would never wanted to be friends with myself.
Hell fucking no.
No. Is this person that I am now, is this someone that I want to be friends with?
I would cut that person out real quick.
In my life, I realized all the toxic people, they're cut out. My surrounding is healthy as it can be. I have amazing people around me. But I also realized that the most toxic person in my life that I have is me.
I'm really proud of you for already realizing that.
That was a hard realization.
I'm proud of you for two reasons. Because first of all, one, you have surrounded yourself with people that are not toxic, that are supportive, add value to your life.
Yes.
That's already a hard thing. That's mostly one of the first things you can do to practice self-love and self-compassion, because it's really hard to be kind to yourself if you have people that are bringing you down, being mean to you, are belittling you. But the second step is then looking inwards, right? I love that you are now aware of it. And now it's time to then reprogram that mindset. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, in which areas am I being a dick to myself?
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm not a dick to myself in every area. I'm only in a few areas, right? I'm a very ambitious woman. Oh, I'm so ambitious, but it can get the best of me sometimes. I can work 24/7, but my body will tell me no. And that's the thing. Your mind can lie to you, but your body will never, ever lie to you.
That's very true.
So a part of self-compassion for me is listening to my body. On top of that, I have an issue with my health that I'm healing from. And it's something that's very rare. I have an esophagus disease. It's called achalasia. And I will dive into this another time, but I vomit 5 to 10 times a day, standard. And swallowing food is difficult. And that's why I lost weight. And I sometimes have to vomit in restaurants, on the street. That does so much to your self-image and your self-love. And there's so much shame involved. But also running this whole movement, Umaversity, while having this, for the first year, I kind of ignored it. I just went full steam ahead. But I also noticed that I really want to be a leader that oozes self-love to the core, right? So also, I need to be self-compassionate when it comes to my health and my body. So that's why I've been working on it very deeply every day. And I've researched a lot this summer. I've developed a whole new self-love routine. Let me call it practice, because routine is something that is very boring after a while, and I get bored really quick. So,
oh God, yeah.
So what I did is I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I read books about it because I want to become wealthy and healthy.
Yes.
And happy. Yeah, right? I thought, how can I make a practice of self-love for me and self-compassion that will last me throughout the day, but also just give me a moment to myself in the morning. For me, the morning and the evening are the most important. So I did something, I wrote all the things that I like to do for my mind that are good for me, all the things that I like to do for my body that are good for me, and all the things I like to do for my soul that are good for me. And then I wrote down all of the things, and every day I choose one for mind, one for body, one for soul.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So for mind, that could be reading a book. I love reading books. I love learning. For mind, could also be just journaling or listening to my affirmations, which I actually do almost every day. And sometimes I listen to my affirmations when I shower, or when I do breath work, or when I just do Qigong or Tai Chi, or when I'm walking on the street, whatever. I'm also not so harsh on myself. I'm like, oh, you didn't do your affirmations today. That's why today went, no. I'm easy, forgiving. Things happen when they happen. And for instance, for my body, I like to stretch or do Tai Chi or dance in the morning. I love dancing in the morning. Oh. It just sets the tone right for the whole day. And I have the song, and it's amazing. It's by Techno, and the name of the song is Enjoy. Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me to enjoy myself. And then I'm a winner. It's just so I'm just enjoying myself. And
we were listening to this song, right?
Exactly.
In the kitchen, yeah.
I always put the song on when I'm a bit down, or just when I start the day. It's just such a nice song. And something for my soul is, for instance, making music. Because I'm an artist. Yeah. I love making music. That's what I do for my soul, or work even more on my self-love or self-compassion. So those are things that you can choose from. It's been really helping. And I ask myself 2 questions every day. How do I want to feel today? And who do I want to be today?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
For instance, today, I want to be my own hero.
Oh, yeah.
How do I want to feel? I want to feel joy and relaxed. I don't want to feel super stressed because we're recording or whatever is happening today. That's how I want to feel. So I've been feeling that. And when you set that intention, when you're really intentional about it, it's so powerful.
Yeah, that's good. And that has been very, very inspiring to me. Absolutely. It has been helping me a lot as well, especially when I completely lost it. Just to give a little background story, when in April, actually, I really wanted to go through with lingerie therapy or lingerie therapy. I met a huge fulfillment, and I lost kind of everything that I could have, what a person can lose, I lost it all. And that happened to me before. So I felt like this complete, not only a failure, but I felt like a phony, because I am having this concept about self-love and body image and being as well being your own hero and taking good care of yourself and loving your body. And I am this woman who has this concept, but then in the back, I'm being homeless. I don't have any stuff. I came out of an abusive relationship. Like, who the fuck am I to tell you how to take care of yourself? Because I can't even do it. That's literally how I've been feeling for such a long time already.
So mean.
I know.
To yourself.
In that moment, it feels very realistic.
Feels like the truth.
Yeah, and it still feels like the truth sometimes, because there are two elements for me to it. One, it's very mean and I have to stop. Like it's your insecurities and your fear of failure. But on the other hand, it's kind of the truth as well. Because let's just break it down. I can't help other women if I can't even help myself in that moment yet. I can't give you the right energy, because if I feel like a complete phony, like a complete failure, standing there, hating myself, hating my life, hating my body, how am I going to help you? I'm only going to give out the wrong type of energy. So I had to stop and let go of everything and practice my own self-love, not thinking about lingerie therapy because I couldn't think about it anymore. Like for me, it was like the devil for a while, So I was like being forced to reconsider and re-practice and look at my self-compassion and my self-love journey. And it has not been a bread summer for me.
No.
It has been a healing journey. Yeah.
I've seen it, and I don't feel like you had to stop doing anything. I think how I seen it and how I also saw you is that you just need to, in order to do the things you want to do with women, you just need to be able to upgrade.
Yeah.
So you needed to fix your bugs. And those bugs were like, okay, you were really dependent on that life that you created. But in the end, that life that you created, you didn't even want it.
True. Very true.
So the job you had, the money that you had, like there's so much more for you out there, right? A lot of times when things change, we feel like a failure and we feel like, oh, I'm a phony. I mean, I've felt this too. I've had a point where every time I would vomit my food out, I would say, oh yeah, you failed again today. You are not healing.
Oh yeah.
Or when I would be so tired because I worked so hard on Umaversity or something else. Oh, you said, you didn't put your boundaries and you're such a phony. But the thing is, at the end of the day, these thoughts do not add value to your situation.
True.
And even if it's some of the truth, they don't add value. So like, how can we then think new things that do add value?
Which is a beautiful question, because also like the community has asked us some things about it as well. And you, for me, when it comes to this subject, have been a huge inspiration for me. So honestly, what would be, and this has been a question from the community as well. So what is your go-to self-love ritual that really makes you feel like you're on top of the world?
One of the things, I also wrote a book about it. It's over here. It's Manifest Your Desires. And it's 5 steps to go through to really manifest your desires. And one of the steps is really diving deep into what is holding you back. What is your limiting blocks? And looking at what is wrong. Where is the program glitching, right?
Yeah.
And this summer I went through the whole book again myself because I felt, okay, I want to go really deep. And I realized my relationship with money, my relationship with my health, with my career, there are certain things that are holding me back from moving further. But also letting go and acceptance and learning that fear and shame and anger and sadness and grief are all things that are human and are allowed to be there. But the difference is, do you let them govern you, or do you just accept them as tools? Fear helps you to make you aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Anger makes you aware of, this is not something I like, so I don't want this situation anymore. Sadness makes you aware of, hey, I'm feeling really sad, I don't want this as well, or let's change things up. So these emotions, I've noticed that I've been crying a lot, I've been angry, and it's been very healing to just accept the things. And one of the things that I use a lot is listening to my own affirmations. And that's one of the chapters we also have, is that we write affirmations on every part of your life. But that's only possible after you've looked at what is holding you back.
Yeah.
Because you can say to yourself, I love myself every day. I love myself. I love myself. But it feels empty if you don't if you haven't looked at, why don't I love myself enough today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I'm going to be a millionaire, but why am I scared of spending 100 euros right now?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So what I do when I'm really down is I listen to my affirmations. I remember last year, April, I was in Rio, and it was the first time I was in Rio because I used to go every year, and I would just always feel better. But this was the first time that I was throwing up a lot. Food couldn't go. I was so hungry. I couldn't, keep the food in. And also I noticed I was a bit more tired. So I felt this whole experience of who I created, this whole identity of me in Rio was just gone, lost. And I thought, I'm getting sicker. That's one of my biggest fears. I'm getting more sick. I'm going to die.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, I listened to my health affirmations on repeat, because I knew my mind is stuck in that mindset of, you're getting sick. Oh, you see, it's getting worse. Oh, the doctors were right. There's nothing you can do about it. But then in my affirmations, I hear, I am healing. Every cell in my esophagus is healing, and you're surrounding yourself with positive thoughts and positive energy. And I choose to believe this, and I choose to do this instead of get stuck in the victim mindset where I feel, oh, it's all happening to me. I have no control.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they find out I have these health problems, they're like super shocked.
Yeah. I recognize exactly what you say. Like, oh my God, you have insecurities?
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick? Oh, you have mental problems?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like we're these unbeatable persons. Wow. No.
But that's how it looks also on social media, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
The thing is, at the end of the day, it's a choice. It's a choice to choose to not stay in the victim mindset where it's comfortable just saying like, this is what it is and I have no control over it. You can choose also to say, I accept what's happening and I'm feeling it out, but this day is a present and it's given to me and I choose to make something of it. And so even if that's sleeping in bed all day, taking care of yourself, canceling all your plans, at least that's a day that you choose for yourself. Yeah. And I actually recently had to practice this even more. 2 weeks ago, I was in Lisbon and I had 3 days of pain because I also get pain attacks. And I was in Lisbon with my boyfriend and his best friend and my sister and another friend. And they were all doing fun stuff. And I was in bed with pain. And I didn't have any weed to calm my pain. So I was also stressed, like, when is this pain going to end? Because weed is not legal there. And it is here in Amsterdam. So I just laid in bed feeling the FOMO, not being able to go into Lisbon and do fun stuff. And I just laid in my bed and I thought, okay, I can be really angry at myself and my body right now, but is that something my body needs right now? And then I realized my body needs kindness and forgiveness. And so in that moment in bed crying, I said to myself, if this is what my vacation is going to be like, then that's okay. Then that's what it is. If my body just needs rest, laying down, then that's what it is. And funny thing, all the fears came of, I'm dying or I'm getting sicker. but I just accepted them. But I didn't let them take control of my life that moment. I was in control because I accepted the moment. And the funny thing is that a few hours later, I felt just amazing that we even went to a festival.
Yeah.
And I listened to my body also in this moment, like my body, should I go to the festival or not? And my body said yes. And it was even the first time I tried ecstasy. And it was just such a fun experience. And I had no pain. And that pain didn't return at all. But it doesn't matter even if it did, I'm just so fucking proud that I accepted the moment as it was, and what my body just needed. And I was self-compassionate.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful story. I remember being mesmerized when you told me this story. But I think it's also the living proof of that. I highly believe that in every situation, the biggest disease in life might be victimhood.
100%.
Victimhood might be the biggest disease that there is, because the consequences of victimhood, the spectrum is so broad. Victimhood is not only a disease on yourself, it's a disease that you put out on others as well, right?
It's super toxic, yeah. And
it's extremely toxic.
And there are so many layers also. Like there's, because jealousy comes from victimhood as well.
Everything.
Insecurity comes from victimhood. And narcissism comes, everything. And also self-punishment, all of those things. It doesn't, like saying I'm not going to be a victim doesn't mean being a victim in general is a bad thing. I'm just saying having a victim mindset. That's what I'm referring to. With these health issues that I have, right? Where the Western medicine says there's no cure, it's too rare, there's no research. Literally, they can do anything for me. I can be on the forums of the people who have this. It's literally negativity, victim mindset. People are just saying, we're just, put out there, we're just here to die. Literally, those words, right? And I thought, I don't want to live my life like this.
No.
I do not. If I have even a few days to live, I don't want to live my life just complaining about all the things I don't have. I want to live my life focusing on what I do have and enjoying it, But also, you can... For a while, I was running away from the negativity and only focusing on the positive.
Yeah, but that's also not a good thing, right? Because then you get this toxic happinism that we have to be completely in, which gives a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah, and you ignore your feelings.
Extremely.
And then your emotions are stuck. And so I've also learned to just be sad about things sometimes. And also just to call my friends and have a good support system. I call my family, I talk to my boyfriend about it. And I guess it's a process.
Yeah.
So one of the rituals that I have, no matter what, is affirmations.
I love that. That's beautiful.
So what about you? Do you have a ritual of self-love?
Yeah, my rituals, of course, has changed because you change as a person over time. But it has been an extremely heavy journey, of course. And I had to practice getting back to myself after trauma 5 years ago. I have been living in fear and in victimhood for a long time. And I always compare these trauma and the things that you carry with you. I always compare it, as I speak to people about this, I always compare it with baggage, the heavy load. Mm-hmm. I remember getting out of being homeless, but also getting out of an abusive relationship. I have a lot of baggage that I carry around with me. And there was this one thing that I promised myself, is that I would never force someone else to carry my baggage.
Yes.
Which happens a lot in narcissism, in victimhood. People project their trauma out to other people so easily, pointing the finger at the world. And I would say, from a rational perspective, you could easily say that the most things in my life that has happened from external things. Mm-hmm. But it also made me realize that I was so angry at the world. I was so stuck in victimhood. I was so angry with life and the world. How the fuck could you have done this to me? Why are all these external things that are not my fault now becoming my problem?
Yeah.
And I was just in complete survival mode for such a long time. I think I still am sometimes, because it's hard to get out of survival mode once it's in your system. But I started visualizing myself walking through life And I saw myself carrying these huge bags, like too much even to carry, like just keep on carrying them. And then I just started visualizing myself unpacking bags. And this ritual in the evening in meditation, or I would draw it or whatever, it really helped, because sometimes I would open up a small bag. Sometimes I would open up a really big one, and I would just like put like literally doing like this, getting all the shit out and everything that is not necessary that you need, until you have like this tiny backpack that you can carry with you. That was one of the rituals that really helped me to get out of victimhood, but also to be very sure about the fact that I wasn't projecting my shit onto others. So this has been one of the evening rituals for me that has been very, very helpful. Just really being conscious about everything that you carry with you. And the funny thing is that it was always evening rituals for me, never morning rituals. The morning rituals only came, honestly, this year, that I would wake up calmly and not run out of the door, but just wake up calmly, do my facial care. And because I was taught to get up and be productive, get up and be efficient, get up, don't breakfast, and just go and do your shit and make something of life, because you've been a complete failure. So now you can't get up calmly. No, you have to get up, be productive, and be efficient.
Exactly.
And now I'm learning how to manage a morning ritual that gives me such a calm state of mind in the morning that actually is comparable to you. I would wake up and I do a little tiny breath work or morning meditation. And sometimes when I don't do it, when I skip it, instead of being angry to myself, like, come on, you didn't even do it, I'd be like, no, I probably had something else to do. I would sit down and just sit and eat my breakfast and not be immediately on my phone, do my skincare and start the day calmly. And and there's one thing I had to do for that. Just put the alarm clock earlier. That's the only thing I had to do, because I would always tell myself, I don't have time for that. You do. You have to make time for that.
That's why I said it's discipline.
Yes, absolutely. It's discipline.
Like a morning ritual or practice is definitely discipline. And it's choosing for yourself above social media, like opening up your phone and seeing all the messages. It's choosing for yourself above all of the things you have to do, you know? Even if you can do one thing for yourself in the morning or in the evening or during the day, then you did something, you were a hero to yourself. I also have night affirmations. It's just 3 minutes with some nice meditating music. And I just say, I deserve rest. I deserve sleep. Today you did your best. All of your mistakes are forgiven. You learn from it. Tomorrow will be even a better day. All of those things, you know, very, very sweet to myself. And last night I was listening to it again, because I don't listen to it always, because I also listen to Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, because I can be in my mind so much, you know, on so many things. Oh, something happened, and I'm very highly sensitive, and I need to listen something to be able to fall asleep. And yesterday I listened to my affirmations instead of Harry Potter, and I was so thankful to myself. Because yesterday I had a huge to-do list, but I did 2 things and I was so tired. And I was just so thankful to myself for just hearing my own voice saying, it's okay. Tomorrow will be better. And you did it so great today, you know? And I think when I become a mom, I want to be able to be an example for my kid when it comes to this, you know? I want to be able that my kid just in default mode knows self-compassion. And when my kid interacts with other kids and other parents and people, that it sees like, hey, this is different than I learned from home, you know?
Yeah.
But in order to get there, I need to work on myself. And I'm honest, it's a process. But yeah, it's actually, I find it really fun. Yeah. Crazy enough.
Yeah, crazy enough. It is fun to dig very deep. And talking about fun, so what we don't do enough, and with lingerie therapy, I stress this so much. I at least try, in the ideal world, I do it every 2 weeks, but sometimes only once a month. But I always try at least once a month to have a very beautiful, nice date night with myself. Consider some discipline. It involves lingerie, of course, but it's a very simple date night, actually, but it's so effective. So it's always at night. I like it when it gets dark. I put candles on and I put my favorite sexy, chill type of music that always gets me in a certain state of mind, that gets me on like this journey. Yeah, music that eases my mind, nourishes the soul, like just music that gets me. That makes me feel amazing, or that gets me in a certain type of vibe. I put on my favorite lingerie, and it doesn't have to be very expensive. It doesn't have to be like very sexy, or it can be an easy set as well. That doesn't really matter, but something that makes you feel some type of way. That is the most important part about it. When everything is said and done, the candles are lighted, the music is on, I bought my favorite type of hush, and I'm doing everything that makes me feel great about myself and makes me go on this journey. I do that in lingerie. So I'm walking around the house, smoking my hush. I am writing poetry. I am writing my manifestations. I am writing down my worries, but I do it all in lingerie. I'm just chilling. I am listening to the music. I am dancing a bit to the music. And the most important part is that my phone is off. Like nobody will be able to reach me. And that's my ultimate date night with myself. It's like this fresh cup of tea, candles, a book to write in, music and lingerie. And I always feel so amazing the moment I go to sleep after it and the moment I wake up. Because for one night only in the month, you have a whole night only in your tiny world. And in that tiny world, you can be whoever you want to be. And it helps you to remember who you are and who you admire to be. So the next day you can actually be that person.
I love it. It's really beautiful. I'm really happy that you do that. And I hope that more people do it. I do this as well. And you know what's so nice about and why you feel so good? It's because you're prioritizing yourself above everything else. And you're also creating a safe space for yourself.
Yes.
Any other time of the day, you're creating a toxic environment for yourself when you're mean to yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're intentionally saying, I'm going to wear my sexy outfit, my lingerie, I'm going to make my environment aesthetically pleasing, have yummy drinks, foods, and just focus on something positive, you're choosing intentionally to give yourself a hug, And that for me is self-compassion and self-love.
Yeah. So I really hope that with this we can inspire other people with this.
I hope that we had some tips or some personal stories for you that could help you with your self-love and self-compassion. Just remember that it's a process. It's something that you have to choose every day for, but it's a beautiful choice. And you can only be grateful to yourself when you really choose for yourself, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. Like here at Umaversity, we're literally here for you. So you can always reach out to us, ask the questions, join the community, and be inspired by what life can be for you as well.
And we have also a bunch of experts that can help you on your self-love and self-compassion. If you have mental health problems or even sexual body problems, all of that we have experts for. So please don't hesitate to reach out because it's very important that you're not alone and we're here for you.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
This was a beautiful episode. Thank you. It
really was.
This was healing. Yes.
We were real, really real, even deeper than normal.
That's all we do, honey. That's all we're good at, being real.
That's true. So if you enjoyed this episode today, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video, this very powerful video, with all of your friends and your partners, because everybody deserves to learn more about self-love and self-compassion.
Absolutely. And every share is a proof to the world that these conversations about womanhood are so important.
And if you want to talk more about this, we have a beautiful free community chat group with experts and fearless women that love to talk about all the topics, mental, body, and sexual well-being about women. And join us because we're here for you and we're a beautiful community. I always love the questions and the stories that are shared.
I can't wait for next episode. I hope you guys as well. So till next one, Umas.
Until next time, Umas.